the Cleveland Browns taking on the New Orleans Saints.
So much has happened since the Super Bowl was last in this part of the U.S. in the early 90s. The Rams and Chargers have both returned to L.A., and they've constructed this incredible new palace for football, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And it will be the scene tonight for Super Bowl 56. And what a matchup we have. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cleveland Browns taking on the NFC champions, the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and CD, all eyes on the AFC champs. A lot of folks out there in Ohio have waited a long time for this night. What a story. The Cleveland Browns, their first Super Bowl appearance ever.
I would say there are a lot of tears to go with that joy, right? And it's tears of appreciation, tears of patience. As you point out, it's been a long time. Remember, this team was 0-16 just 4 years ago. Made it to the playoffs in 2020, got the road win in Pittsburgh, and now here they are in the Super Bowl. And you have to go back to 1964 for their last NFL title, pre-Super Bowl era, when they beat the Baltimore Colts 27-0.
Meanwhile, for the New Orleans Saints, quite a series of events led them to this point. You had Drew Brees retired seasons end a year ago, and you think about all the heartbreaking postseason losses that this team went through the last few years, but they pulled it together, CD, and find themselves in the big game for just the second time in franchise history.
And they thought they would have been here multiple times before. You've got to respect this franchise and this organization, though, don't you? Because they've somehow been able to move past all those tough losses. The Minneapolis Miracle, the pass interference no call, going out at home the last 2 years, first in overtime in Minnesota on another controversial play, and then to Tom Brady last year. A resilient bunch, this New Orleans Saints team.
First carry now for Nick Chubb. And he powers through the first lane, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So here come the Saints now for their first drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in the days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. 43 yards rushing for him now on their opening drive of this Super Bowl. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. You look at this Super Bowl, the second appearance for this head coach. The first one did not go as planned, as we all know. But what do you think he's learned from that first go-around?
He learned how much it hurts to lose, and that's what you hear from coaches so often. They don't remember the wins as much.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Saints are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to look deep now for Landry. That's caught inside.
Why did he start running?
All the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, 75 yards. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taking it about the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Sometimes that's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You can wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Forced out to his left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Now back to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
First down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll set up a throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield and finding the tight end Hooper. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Third and long for Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Now a handoff here to his running back. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Seven, our score after 1. Second and 3. He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield. Chubb will have the first down and much more. And finally taken down at the 15.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Touchdown, Browns!
A
15-yard touchdown grab, and the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and that makes the score 14-7. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Bro, man, that ball was like
down the ground and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll throw it to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this one incomplete. A 50-50 ball in the end, nearly intercepted. And now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
2nd and 5. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Well, it's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Room here to run. And they'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to run one.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Mayfield this time gets it off to Chubb. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now. Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You gotta know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Mayfield with it once more. Quickly here in this complete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try and run it in with Janovich, the fullback. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Andy Janovich taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 21-7. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe you want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Back to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They'll look to throw again. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu.
Oh, they are faking in this Super Bowl.
Browns are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. They're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
I got down there, they cheated.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And right now their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime maybe doing a little bit.
There's ever a chance to regroup. It's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season.
Y'all can hold on to the ball. Y'all can block.
And come out punching here in the second half.
Where is
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 43 yards rushing for him now. He's carried the ball just 5 times.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Myles Garrett just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. They're going to look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Jadavian Clowney, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely needed to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better. Now
Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
No defense, bro.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. Here's Mayfield.
What?
That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Bro.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And again, it's Chubb. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Now Mayfield.
Now it's great for him.
He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Saints again ready to go on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now they try the right side here. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this out to the 47. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 2. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game.
Oh, my God, why did he stop?
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10.
What the fuck are you doing?
They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Saints have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. They'll look to throw. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game, fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taking it about the 16. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And for the 4th time tonight, it's a interception. By John Johnson. And the Browns force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful, because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you, now you take care of us.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Mayfield. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he's going to have the Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Mayfield off the play fake. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And it's fielded at the 34. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down 21-18. A minute 50 to play. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. 5 yards remain on second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now all of a sudden, the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Back to throw. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know they're going to do an offense. They Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. And the Lombardi Trophy is headed back to the Bayou. The New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.